Hello there, my name is Rachel. The first time seeing my channel, I used to review cartoon series, anime series, or something. Could be random. And today we're going to talk about a new animated film from Netflix called Wendell and Wild. From the creators of, or the company who created this, is basically Monkey Pop Productions. And this is basically the first time they do an animated film. Usually they focus on a horror or supernatural. This is the first time they actually delved into sort of family, sort of horror, sort of kind of Tim Burton, sort of style of animation. Now the question is, this actually is a good film. I want to say yes, but it's sort of a but in a variant, because it's the first time they doing it. They almost landed completely everything correct. The only problem is sort of the middle of the whole story, because the beginning and the end is just charming, interesting, fascinating, artistic, well created, because there are moments that are just goddamn, that's just so creative, because they have that sort of want to be Tim Burton, but they also elevate it, trying to do something unique, especially at the very beginning, because at the very beginning, giving vibes a lot of different films like Jacob's Ladder or Beetlejuice or Nightmare Before Christmas. You see the first couple minutes, you automatically see the inspiration left from right, but I love it. They didn't just leave the inspiration on their sleeves. They trying to do something very unique. Now, the whole story of Wendell Wild is basically a character called KK, that she is basically an orphan because her both parents actually died because of her own fault, at least allegedly. It's sort of that kind of question mark mystery, how they die, how their parents die, connected to the whole town, becoming sort of broken, dead, like nobody's actually existing in this sort of town because everything's gonna run down because of people who run the prison. It's one of those mystery aspects, but I love it. It's sort of spread out a lot of different story arcs around the whole film, connected to actually KK, what her problem is in connection to the two demons she actually summoned by accident, because KK is one type of characters who is sort of a troubled teen, that she is sort of miserable, she feels guilty, she feels ashamed because she thinks she's the one who kind of helped kill her own parents. It's a little dark, but you understand why she felt that way. I feel that sort of denial that she deserved to be punished. And you have to give some props, because KK is a type of character is sort of hard to love or execute, because you can easily hate her doing sort of horrible, or not just horrible, how her personality is just sort of very rough, really hard to love, because every time someone trying to help her, she pushes them away. That's sort of that type of character that's self-destructed, but it does it a well balanced all through the very end of the film. Of course, I did mention the second act kind of pushes it a little too far in my opinion, or maybe they didn't put it in the right direction. If you've seen the film, you've seen the middle of the whole film, you probably understand what I meant, that they don't know how to spin her in a way that make her interesting for sort of scenes, but all that I felt it was almost completely executed, especially Wendell Wild, who are basically the demons of KK. But I love it, they're not truly evil. They're sort of incompetent, sort of has-been losers who have to work with their father's sort of park. But I love it how they depicted the underworld, that this demon tortures people with their own souls, but the whole thing is just so imaginative, that the demons torturing everybody on top of his belly as sort of like a theme park. If all the souls look like paper mache getting tortured, ripped with theme park sort of rides. Once again, this is why this movie blows me so well. The sort of imaginative sort of ways to make things sort of kind of interesting but not fully scary, because this tried to be scary but more interesting point of view. They try to be creative, sort of scary but not really. They use that sort of tone balance to make it sort of friendly, but at the same time I feel that could be the weakness of this film, because they want to be scary but they don't know what is the line to be scary, and that's what the struggle of the second act, because the second act is a tad slow, but it picks up and later on He also does sort of kind of mystery aspect as KK trying to figure out who she is and why she can hear demons and why it's sort of connected to the sort of prison family who owns the whole town. But I love that even the side characters are well interesting and made, like the father, because the father of who trying to help KK, she is using her to get money to fund the school. You think he's sort of a cruel person, awful, manipulative user, but no, he actually does care about the school, but we don't know what is the line of his. What does he care about KK or care about the money? It's sort of your interpretation what you think about the father. Even that, I love the interpretation of the Mean Girls, or how KK kind of called them the goats. That they're basically the positive sort of mean girls, but they're not actually mean. They're basically really kind, really nice. Sometimes you wonder, are you brainwashed? I'd be right next to KK sort of questioning these girls, are they mentally okay, because they are just so positive. They want to help KK, but at the same time, once again, this would make it so interesting because KK doesn't want to be helped. In fact, she doesn't like to call KK. She want to call her a different name. She is sort of a runk punk on the streets. I am individual. I am a troublemaker. But at the very end, you just need a hug. She's just sort of trapped in this sort of mental state of torture because she's her own guilt doesn't let her. Even that she is not her responsibility or her fault of her parents' death. Once again, I love this so much. Even the second act sort of drags a little bit, but because of the kind of claymation and that sort of 2D animation mix, that sort of angle, sort of kind of journey expression, but at the same time using sort of very unique music to complement everything, just nailed in the hammer. It's something like, whoa, it's just so good, but at the same time it sort of falls flat. There are moments like they didn't know what to do. I think it's the part of the thing that a lot of people will probably drop the movie halfway, because the halfway is sort of the deal breaker of the whole film. I do recommend it. Watch it to the very beginning, the very end, because the very end is just so charming. Even the message is sort of kind of hammered in a little bit too hard. I think they just sort of restrain themselves. Of course, it kind of makes sense why they kind of hit hard, because this is the first time Monkey Productions or Monkey Pop Productions do a animated film. It really shows they actually have the spark. They could be the next Disney company to make great animated films. It's that they not yet know how to balance everything. But once again, it's one of the films I do recommend. It just being warned, it still has a lot of flaws, but it's sort of worth passing all the flaws. Watch the film. Now, I have to ask one question. How you felt about the whole movie? Do you like the interpretation? You like the sort of weird, strange ideas that KK wants to sort of solve the sort of mystery what's going on in the whole town, and also kind of bring her home parents back, making a deal with a bunch of demons. I love the demons are sort of incompetent, but I love it is sort of kind of realistic incompetent. That's the thing I just enjoyed. That sort of kind of realistic. If you try to summon demons, they don't just reappear. They need a ride to get there, and that is something that I feel make this extra special. Now, I got nothing else to say, just one question. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Tell me down below, let me know. I got nothing else to say, just thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.